Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, some breaking news keeping firefighters busy on the 4th of July as crews were called out to homes and grassy areas for fires across the metro. We are on the scene of one as crews are still putting out hot spots and they're putting the blame on fireworks.
A 4th of July parade cut short by a mass shooting. Parents and children left strollers and chairs behind in the chaos.
Everyone thought it was fireworks. Everyone's like, oh, fireworks. And I was like, something's wrong. I grabbed my dad and started running.
And this morning, we're learning new information about the suspect and getting reaction from the White House.
Well, on a much lighter note, it was a tough go for one of the nation's top eaters.
I was exhausted during the contest. I got a little bit winded.
Yeah, not to worry. He still won. Joey Jaws Chestnut taking home the mustard belt in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which is gross and cringeworthy, but you can't help but watch.
He wasn't smiling after, though.
No,
Not like the Avs with their Stanley Cup. He's like, oh, okay.
I know.
I'll get through this.
So we'll take you through the highlights of the hot dog eating. 63, by the way, was the winning number.
Amazing.
Thanks for joining us. Back to work today. I'm Brian Sanders.
I had one hot dog yesterday.
And stuffed, right?
I did, yes. I'm Nicole Brady. Katie LaSalle. Yeah, it was such a great day for a barbecue. Hoping to get more like that, yeah.
A little more of the same. I had a hot dog yesterday too, but just one.
Just one.
Not 63. Hey, in terms of our temperatures outside this morning, 67 right now, both downtown and out to the airport. Winds are moving in from the west-southwest. Elsewhere, it is 63 degrees into Broomfield and Thornton, low 60s, filtering into Centennial and Castle Rock, 40s and 50s into many of our mountain towns. Now, your backyard forecast for today, by noon, it's going to heat up once again into the upper 80s, low 90s expected by 3 p.m. And we have about a 30% chance of a few scattered storms rolling across the plains. Better chance for more moisture into the mountains on this Tuesday. Highs will top out in the upper 80s into Parker, low 90s Boulder into Highlands Ranch, and 60s and 70s out to the west. It will be 80 degrees in Steamboat today, where it will stay dry for the first half of the day, and then we will introduce the chance for a few thunderstorms, mainly after lunchtime. Moisture already streaming into southwestern Colorado. That will continue for the afternoon. Jason.
And right now we do have a problem getting up into the Central City Blackhawk area. I'll show you that in just a second. The overall drive looks really nice. This is I-70 between Federal and Sheridan over by Lakeside, moving along just fine. But you know how bad the road is? They're going to start actually paving this between now and October, and you will see lane restrictions on the overnight hours. Let me take you over to the Highway 119. So coming off of Highway 6, you're going up 119 Central City Blackhawk. That's closed down right now. There's a serious crash up that way between, and you can see from the camera up there, the flashing lights. So these folks are being turned around coming off of Highway 6. You have to go to I-70 and then use Central City Parkway to get around it. No estimate of when it's going to reopen 119 getting into Blackhawk Central City. But the rest of the drive looks just fine anywhere you want to go. We'll take a look at that drive tour from the airport coming up in a bit.
Well, we hope you got to see one of the spectacular fireworks shows around the metro last night. Air Tracker 7 flew over Aurora's display. Of course, this was the safe way that firefighters encouraged us to celebrate, but it was a busy night for them last night. Take a look at this map. These were all the different places around Denver Metro where we saw reports of fires from Lakewood to Aurora. Some of these fires are being blamed on illegal fireworks. Our Veronica Acosta is in East Aurora this morning where crews are still putting out some hot spots from a huge fire that broke out there.
They are, and that fire got really close to some homes. It's still dark out this morning, so you can't see how close that fire got to those homes or really the area that burned right here in this park behind me, Springs Creek Park. But we'll show you later on as it starts getting a little bit lighter. But take a look at this video. This will give you a good gauge on just how close those flames were to some of those homes in this area and how loud those fireworks were in this area as well. And you do see them go off there in the background, regardless of the fire, and the crews, of course, working so hard to try and knock it down. For a brief moment, some residents in the area, they were evacuated, but soon they were allowed back into their homes once crews had a good handle on that fire. Meantime, witnesses said they actually saw fireworks over this park here behind me that burned right before the fire itself started. And the good news this morning is that there were no injuries, and again, firefighters, they were able to get a good handle on the actual fire. They were able to knock it down, and it didn't burn any structures in this area. For now, we're live in Aurora. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Scary.
Yeah. Well, this morning you might be wondering how this could happen again. Another mass shooting, this time at a 4th of July parade in a suburb of Chicago.
A gunman fired from a rooftop, killing 6 people, injuring dozens more, and traumatizing countless families. ABC's M. Wynn has new details on the minutes leading up to the attack and the president's response.
A July 4th celebration turned mass shooting. Now in custody, 22-year-old Robert E. Cremo III, the person of interest identified by police hours after the attack. The FBI and local police now investigating how a gunman opened fire from a rooftop into an Independence Day parade in North Chicago, killing 6 people, sending at least 31 to the hospital, including 25 with gunshot wounds and a child in critical condition. The victims between 8 and 85 years old.
And I just looked back at my dad, and right behind him, this girl just fell in cold blood and just died.
Another father was watching his grandson and children march in the parade when shots rang out.
These are the kinds of injuries that are seen in war. And these poor kids and families who went to a parade and then, now people just don't feel you can go anywhere.
This tragedy, along with the more than 300 mass shootings already this year in the U.S., according to the Gun Violence Archive, sparking outrage from politicians once again, calling for tighter gun control.
While we celebrate the 4th of July just once a year, mass shootings have become our weekly, yes, weekly, American tradition.
President Joe Biden reminding Americans that while he has recently signed the first major gun legislation in almost 3 decades into law, it's still not enough.
Nothing guaranteed about our way of life. We have to fight for it, defend it, and earn it by voting.
Investigators are waiting on an ATF trace to find out the history of a rifle that was left at the scene. We're told there's still a lot of work left to do to tie the person of interest directly to the shooting. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, one community in Colorado is still trying to get a handle on gun control. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us from Boulder County this morning. Christian, county commissioners there will talk about 5 different measures that have passed already in other cities.
Yeah, they will. And Brian, we are halfway through 2022, and we have already seen more than 300 mass shootings across the country. So Boulder County leaders are taking action, and they're hoping to pass stricter gun laws. So far, Boulder, Louisville, and Superior have passed new gun laws over the past few weeks. Today, Boulder County commissioners will introduce 5 new ordinances. Let's break down what those are for you. They are banning the sale of assault weapons, creating a waiting period to buy a gun, banning possession of ghost guns, which are often bought online and they're untraceable, creating an age restriction to purchase a gun, and adding restrictions on where people can carry firearms in public areas. These ordinances will be discussed during the Boulder County Board of Commissioners meeting tonight, and the opportunity for public comment will happen at the next meeting, which will take place on August 2nd. Live this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Christian. Another violent incident, this time out of Westminster. Police are investigating a road rage that led to a stabbing. It happened Monday in the parking lot of the Sheridan Boulevard Walmart. Police say 2 men were fighting when one of them stabbed the other. One man was taken to the hospital. The other man drove off, and they are still looking for him.
We told you a little bit about this yesterday, so we wanted to show you a little of the show that happened over Parker last night. 150 drones flew over Salisbury Park instead of fireworks. The town passed on fireworks because of fire risks, and more cities are doing this. The Denver-based company Higher UAV Pro put on the show. They're already booked for New Year's Eve and are planning ahead already to next year's 4th of July. Well, if you missed the fireworks, we are getting some great photos on our Discover Colorado Facebook page at some iconic locations, from Garden of the Gods to Coors Field and Denver suburbs like Erie. So thank you to everyone who sent us these great shots. I can never take a good picture of the fireworks. You can share more of your photos and videos on the Discover Colorado through your Photos Facebook page. Leveling Denver's marijuana playing field hasn't been easy. Why some dispensary owners tell us a social equity program isn't doing enough.
And a Lakewood building is now buzzing thanks to a new nationwide partnership.